Welcome everyone to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by Cass Consulting and Everable Marketing, the go-to resource so you can get the latest hacks and best practices so that you can market and grow a profitable medical aesthetics practice. All right, welcome everyone to the 24th episode of the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. This is actually going to be a special episode. It's going to be a solo episode, and it's going to be based off of Facebook Live that I did last week on Thursday on our Facebook community group. So I'm going to play the audio for you guys today so that you can listen to this special episode. But I want to encourage you guys that if you haven't joined our Facebook group, go to our Facebook group, go to Facebook and search for Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. You're going to find our group, request access, and we'll get you accepted right away. The first video you're going to see is the same video of the podcast. And I want you to go watch the video because I actually go through, I grab my iPad and I start jotting down a few things, and I'm illustrating a few concepts for you guys. So you're going to get a lot out of this episode by watching the video, and there's going to be a link here in the podcast for you to just go directly to that. But in this episode, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about how we grow med spas at Everable, and we're going to give you guys a deeper understanding of the front and back end of the funnel in your business and different strategies that you can leverage so you can not only get new patients to the door, but you can capitalize on the patients that you already have. So go ahead and listen to the video, but go ahead and go to our Facebook community and watch the video there. Thank you. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. Are we live? My heart is racing. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, we're live, guys. Thank you so much for checking this out today. I didn't really announce this, or I didn't really say that I was going to do a Facebook Live. So I don't expect a lot of you to be on. I know you all are busybodies and you got stuff going on. It's 5 p.m. my time, so for some of you, it's already you going home, or you're still at it if you're on the West Coast. But I wanted to do a Facebook Live. So I know you're not live, but you can go ahead and watch this at a later time, right? I wanted to do a Facebook Live because in some of the episodes, Cassie and I have talked a lot about funnels, right? And so we talk a lot about the front end funnel, and then we talk about the back end funnel. And so in every business. And so Cassie likes to stop me and likes me to explain that a little bit more, because sometimes I know I can get into jargon. And so I really want to talk to you a little bit more about, we'll do a deep dive into that, explain how I look at building businesses, how we help how we help med spas grow here at Everable, and kind of like our advertising strategy, marketing strategy, and then how we're building a business through looking at their front end funnel and their back end funnel. And the thing is that a lot of the times people have a really good front end funnel, or they have a good back end funnel, but they don't have both. And so what I mean by that is that front end, it's usually, you have a good process for getting new patients through the door, but then a lot of the times, in order for you just to be successful in business long-term, is not just about how many new patients you can get on a monthly basis, because if not, you're always going to be like the chase, right? You're always going to have to like run and keep going and keep trying to build the business and get new sales every single month in order for you to meet payroll, meet your expenses, all that stuff. But at the same time, if you had more of a back end system, that's more about getting the patients that you already have back into your practice, so they can spend more money with you and increase what's called the lifetime customer value of your current database, of the current the patients that you have, right? And so I want to talk to you about how we look at that, and I guess that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and dive right into it. So I'll talk a little bit about how we go about advertising and marketing and what we're trying to accomplish, and then I'll talk about the funnel. And so I'm going to actually share here my iPad. It's actually Bailey's iPad. It has a pink cover and everything, but I steal it from her sometimes. All right, here we go. And so bear with me here with the technology, guys. So first things first, right? When I talk to a lot of people, they reach out to me. And one of the things that I always like to address first with them is that, as we're doing marketing, there's two things, right? There's strategy. And one thing I will say, full disclosure, my spelling is horrible. So if I misspell something, please forgive me, guys. Don't judge me. Strategy, and then there's tactics, right? And so a lot of people reach out to me and they want to talk about, well, Luis, like what exactly is it that you're doing to help people grow their business, help people grow their med spas, right? And what tactics are you implementing? Tactics are great. We're all about tactics. We use tactics here at Everable. But tactics don't matter until we have a strategy in place, right? The strategy is what dictates the type of tactic that we're going to implement, right? The tactic is the means to an end, right? It's the means to the strategy and the goal that we want to accomplish, right? And so at Everable, we have one strategy. Every single time we work with our clients, we have one strategy in mind, right? And that strategy is that we want to work towards helping our clients position and establish themselves as one, a local expert, and two, we want to help them reach that celebrity status. Now, here's the thing, guys, and I've mentioned this in the podcast before, which is at Everable, we believe, like in core business fundamentals, right? We believe that, and if you're in business, you should believe this too. It's a common principle. You've heard it before, right? We do business with other people. We don't do business with other businesses, right? And then what's the second thing to that? Well, you already know, right? We do business with people we know, we like, and we trust, okay? And so the idea here, it's this goal of establishing yourself as a local expert, is reaching that celebrity status in your marketplace, is all based off this principle, right? We want people to see you as an expert because once you've established yourself as an expert, well, they know you, they like you, and they trust you, right? I wouldn't trust, if you're not an expert, I'm not going to trust you, right? And you want to kind of have that celebrity status. You want to be known, right? You want people to know you. You want people to think, when they think about CoolSculpting, when they think about laser hair removal, when they think about injectables, we want them to think of you because you already build this rapport with them and you already establish yourself as an expert and as an authority in your marketplace, right? And so this is our strategy here. Now, everything we do in regards to tactics goes back down to this strategy. So the tactics, I'm sorry, this would probably be better if so the tactics, right, over here follows the strategy, and the strategy is establishing yourself as a local expert and celebrity, reaching that celebrity status. And so it goes back down, and we've said this before, everything we're doing is all about relationships. We want to extend what we're, you in the process of positioning yourself as an expert is that you're providing education and you're having conversations with people. This is when I talk about advertising, I always say, look, listen, don't think of advertising in such a way where it's a one-way conversation. Advertising should be a two-way conversation. You're having many conversations with people, convincing them that, overcoming their fears, giving them logic, building trust with them, building rapport with them. And then once they're ready to make a decision, that you are the obvious choice because you have already built this relationship with them. And it goes back down to that law of reciprocity, right? Where it's like, if I give you something, then you're going to feel a little obligated to give me something in return, right? And so we practice that here, and it's all about giving them value. And that's why we're big on video. We talk about, our last episode was about video, right? And we talk about a lot about giving value, right? We're giving value through video. And so all of 90% of our advertising campaigns are leveraging some type of video because it's not just about who has the best promotion anymore, guys.
Social media is all about authenticity and building this relationship with people. So you want to put yourself out there and you want to differentiate yourself from the competition. And this is another topic. I'm going on a tangent, but this is another thing that I'm like super passionate about, because it's like, well, what is the main difference between you and the person down the street that can also turn on a machine or can inject somebody? What is it? And a lot of people, when I ask them that question, like they struggle with that, or they'll give me an answer, but it's not, to be honest, it's not really a great answer, because a lot of times they'll say, oh, well, we're the best, or we have a lot of experience. The other practice is going to say the same thing, guys. They're going to say that they're the best, or that they have a lot of experience. So I wouldn't really call that a differentiator. And honestly, it's kind of like a gray area, because, those are all things that are really, really good. And there are some, like, you might have some accolades that are really great. But for the most part, like, I strongly believe that what differentiates you from everybody else is literally just you, right? The experience that you're going to provide for your patients, your ethos, right? Your core values, what you believe in, and how you're going to treat people. Now, a lot of people maybe have discussed those things, but they don't actually, extend that to the marketplace, right? They don't tell their market, what they believe in. They don't take a stance in their beliefs and their core values and their ethos, right? And so again, all of that goes back down to building relationships, establishing yourself as a local expert and celebrity status. Now, my last point in regards to video before I get into the back end funnel is that why video is so awesome and why it does a great job in establishing relationships is because if you do a video, some people are going to see it, and some people are going to really, they're going to really dislike it, and some people are going to watch it and they're going to love it. And here's the thing, guys, video does a great job of repelling the people that you don't want as clients and attracting the clients, the people that you do want as clients. So a lot of people ask me, like, Luis, how can I get more of the clients that I want, my ideal patient, my ideal client? I'm like, hey, man, just easy. Put out some video, educate your market. And guess what? People that don't like it, even if you totally mess up or you're afraid, whatever, it doesn't matter, practice it. But here's the thing, people don't like you. They probably weren't your best clients in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, those are people that you probably didn't want in your practice, because you know what? When you're doing video, you are expressing yourself in the most authentic way possible, right? They're seeing your quirks, they're seeing the way you speak, your tone, your tonality, your body language, all that stuff. And so that's going to appeal to a specific type of audience, and it's going to repel another type of audience. And again, it's all about building trust, guys. If I can get you to like me, if you can get your audience to like you, then it is most likely they're going to do business with you, right? And that, at the end of the day, that is it. If it's one thing that you grab today in this little mini webinar that I'm doing, it's that. If you understand that if you can get people to like you, then it is most likely they're going to do business with you. So, okay. All right. That's enough about that. So let's go ahead and talk about the funnels. And so we talked about the front end funnel, which is primarily, I like to look at it like this. And we talk about the back end funnel. And by the way, so whenever we start working with our clients, I actually do the first 3 to 4 weeks before we ever even launch anything. Well, for most of these clients that we're doing consulting for, I'll sit down and I'll go through this with them and I'll explain this whole process with them. So you guys don't have to pay me. I'm giving you this stuff for free. So here we have our front end. And then we have our back end, right? And so in the middle, we have our closes. This is where the money is. And then there's a few different ones here. Okay. And so the first thing is going to be P, A, C, and then here is a D, S, U, and R. And then F and R. Okay. So now, once we establish our strategy, then we begin to identify, okay, which tactics can we implement to help us accomplish this strategy. So a lot of the times people will come to me like, okay, well, I'm doing some Facebook, I'm doing some Instagram, I'm doing some SEO, I'm doing some PPC on Google, I'm doing some magazines, some billboards, all that stuff. That's all great. These are all tactics, guys. Now, at this point, you want to implement these type of tactics, and these are all tactics that are driving traffic to the front end of the funnel. At least that's what we're hoping for, right? Some of you might not be having some good success with that. If that's the case, then reach out to us. But so as you are spending money on doing advertising, then you're going to start generating traffic to your website, landing page, to your business, and you're going to start generating the first thing, which is prospects, right? So we have our prospects, and then we have our appointments. So out of the number of prospects that we generated, how many appointments were you able to schedule, right? And then out of those appointments, how many of those actually showed up, and how many consults did you have? And then out of those consults, how many of those did actually became paying patients, paying clients, okay? And so this is how we're looking at the front end of the funnel. Now, whenever a client, somebody engages with us in a partnership, we are always we're definitely looking at the front end funnel, because obviously we're doing advertising marketing. And I'm always trying to figure out, I think there's six numbers. The first one is obviously how much money do we want to spend, right? So let's say in this case, we're spending $2,000 on advertising. And how many what's our ad spend is, then how many leads or prospects did we get out of this $2,000, right? So let's just say we got 200 prospects, to make the math easy. And then we know that our cost per lead was $10. Okay. Now we start to look at the conversion rate. So from prospects to appointments, what was the conversion rate? And then so on and so forth, right? Appointments to consults, consults to actual closes. And those are the other numbers that we're looking at. So let's just say 50%, right? Well, then we saw 100 people. And then actually, if only 50% of them showed up, so we saw 50 people. And then only 25% of them actually became paying patients. So those are already 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last number is, well, how much money did we make? Right? So let's just say we made, $50,000. Actually, let's do something more realistic. It's not realistic. So let's just do 25 grand, right? So we made 25 grand off of that. So that's pretty good. That's already, I think, almost like a 12 times ROI or something like that, something along those lines, just out of spending $2,000. Now, when we're working, as I was saying, when we're working with our clients, we want to identify these numbers because we want to reverse engineer growth, guys. That's identifying these numbers. And this is something that Cassie and I talk about. You need to know your numbers, because a lot of people I ask them, I want to grow my business. Okay, well, what does that mean? How much money do you want to make, right? How many more patients do you want to get? And the way you engineer growth in your business is by knowing these type of numbers, because now I know if I want to make $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, I know what it's going to take for me to get there, right? I can reverse engineer the process, and either I'm going to have to spend more money on advertising, or I'm going to have to do something here in this these conversion numbers so that I can have a better result at the bottom of the funnel. And then at that point, I'm generating more money. Obviously, you want to do both, right? You always want to be improving your conversion rates across every single pinpoint here, like I was showing you. But at the same time, you're probably going to want to spending a lot more money, right? If you want to be hitting 100,000 a month, 200,000 a month, so on and so forth, right? And so you're always want to be looking at this process. Now, as I was saying in the beginning, a lot of people look at the front end, but then you're kind of in that rat race, right? You're in that process of that every single month you need to be getting new sales, because if not, you're not going to make payroll, you're not going to be able to cover your overhead, and you're just going to be super stressed out, right? And so this is where a lot of times people are really good at front end, but on the back end, that's where they struggle. And so everything we do here is going down, right? Going top to bottom. In this case, it's sideways, but you guys know what I mean, right? We want to make some money. We want to get people in here. And so just so clarity, this is 50%, 50%, 50%. Now, it's never going to be that good, guys. Just being fully realistic, those numbers are always going to be different. Every month, they'll be different because there's always different variables that come into play, right? But I just wanted to make the math easy for you guys so you guys understood it. Now, okay, so let's talk about the back end of the funnel, right? So at the back end of the funnel, the first thing is like, well, somebody buys, and then what happens after they buy? Well, you have to deliver your, delivery and your service, right? So that's what D and S stands for, right? Delivery, and actually S stands for satisfaction. So, you had to deliver your service, and were they satisfied, right? Did you provide a service that was amazing? An A+ service, right? Something that they're going to brag about to their friends. And then the second step to this is upsells and resell. Okay. And then the last piece to this is we want to have fans and we want to get reviews. Now, the goal here, guys, is that all of this stuff comes back to the center so that we can all make more money, right? We can all have better lives. We can all have financial freedom in our business, right? And so there's only so much that we can do to help you with the delivery and the satisfaction of awing and getting great results for your patients, right? But these other two right here, I see a lot of people like not really focusing in on, right? And so what type of systems, what type of things are you implementing in your practice right now to automatically, without you having to think about it, get people back into your business? And we call these retention campaigns, right? Not only do we want to make sure that we're keeping the clients that we pay for, because here's the thing, right? A lot of times advertising, what it is, it's you paying for a customer. So a lot of the times, like you're making a profit. Like, so if you spend $2,000 and you made 25 grand off of that, then you're making a profit. You have pretty good, I'm assuming you have pretty good margins on that. But here's the thing, a lot of the times, this is especially the thing with e-commerce, like with product companies and stuff like that. A lot of the times they're breaking even, guys. Like, they're not making money off that first transaction. They're playing the long game, right? So they know that, like, as long as they break even, they know that that person's going to come back a month later, 3 months, 12 months later, whatever, and they're going to make another transaction. And at that point, that's when they're profitable. And so I know the med spa industry doesn't look at it like that, but I just wanted to, to expose you to that as well, because here's the thing. Once you paid to acquire a customer, then you don't need to pay again to get them to come back and buy, right? I hope that makes sense. So we want to have retention. We want to keep that client for a long time. We want to make sure that we have LTV, lifetime customer customer value. And then we want to make sure that that not only that we're keeping them, but that they're coming back, right? Retention means that they're coming back. So we want them to come back and buy some more. And so obviously that has a lot to do with how they were treated, your service delivery. Did they get the results they were looking for? But then we need to have campaigns that are going to remind people to come back and purchase from you again. And we usually call these reactivation campaigns. And so with reactivation campaigns, we talked about it in, I think, episode 21 or 22. We did like a dual episode, Cassie and I talked about how you guys could implement a strategy to help you generate an influx of appointments really fast without spending any money on advertising if you have a database. And so if you haven't watched that, then go watch that or go listen to it, because I talk about a simple strategy, guys, using two-way text messaging just to help you get new patients. I mean, not new patients, but existing patients back into your business and spending more money with you, right? And it's not costing you anything. I mean, just the software. And so you want to have reactivation campaigns, and you want to do these like on an evergreen process. You want to do them every month, every quarter, whatever it is. And so that way, make sure that you're not forgetting about those patients that you've already established a relationship with, right? And here's the thing, because you've already established a relationship with them, then it is most likely they're going to come back and buy, And so keep that in mind, right? And now here's the other thing. So you want to obviously you want to get fans, right? But then you want to generate reviews. And I see right now a lot of people doing this manually, or either they don't do it at all, or they're doing it manually. And that's a big problem as well, because of the fact that human error, guys. Like, if you're growing a business, like, you don't have time to be thinking about telling people personally, hey, leave us a review. You need to have a system in place that's going to allow you to generate these reviews. I was going to say on demand, but my point is without you having to think about it. Things just happen like that. And that's why Cassie and I, we talk a lot about marketing automation software. And that's like a really, really big thing that you need to have, and is super important in your business, right? And so you want to generate reviews because everybody is looking at reviews. I mean, you guys already know, like, before I ever make a purchase, and you guys probably do this too, right? Before you ever make a purchase, I will actually just go to Amazon, even if I'm not buying off Amazon, and I'll look at the reviews on Amazon. If I'm buying something at Best Buy or Walmart or something like that, I would just go to Amazon, look at it there. If I want to go to a restaurant, I'm going to go look at the reviews. And here's the thing, I want to make sure those reviews are recent, right? If I don't see anything that's not recent, then it tells me that, that something's going on with this business, right? If I see and if I see somebody else that has more recent reviews and they're good reviews, then I'm probably going to make the decision to go with them versus these other people, right? And so that's why you don't want to just have reviews. You want to keep getting and generating reviews on a consistent basis, right? And actually stay tuned, because Billy and I are actually going to do an episode on how to deal with negative reviews. I know that's a thing that might happen. And one of the things that a lot of med spas struggle with. And so we're going to talk about, best practices and how to actually deal with those reviews. So stay tuned for the next episode, because we're going to talk about that. So reviews, guys. So this is it. Like, this is literally it. How we look at the big picture. This is like a 10,000 foot level, right? But we're looking at this process about how we can help you grow your business. And it's looking at both of those things. Now, another thing that I didn't mention, but super important, guys, MRR, which stands for monthly reoccurring revenue. If you don't have membership programs in your business right now, you're missing out, guys. MRR, membership businesses, are the holy grail of business. If you're struggling right now, of what I've been mentioning before, right, that you're worried because every single month you have to be making new sales, because if not, you're not going to make payroll, you're not going to make your overhead. And this, as a result of that, you always stressed out. You can't leave the business because you feel that nobody does it as good as you, or you can't go on vacation, or when you come back, when you leave, things are pretty bad. You don't make as much money. When you come back, you have to really pick up the slack, all that stuff. Guys, all that stuff, for the most part, disappears when you have a monthly recurring business. I know, I've had both type of businesses. I've been in business for almost a decade now. I've had those two types of businesses. And I'm telling you right now, monthly recurring businesses are way better. It's the holy grail of business, because if you can at least have enough recurring revenue to cover your overhead, to cover payroll, then everything else on top of that is just profit. And that's amazing, right? It lowers the stress level of how many new patients you need to be getting on a consistent basis, because guess what? You are going to have those bad months. Even if you're doing advertising, there's going to be super great months, and they're going to be months that are not as good, right? And so you want to make sure, as you are, building your business, you're starting to consider, how can I build a membership program? How can I create, bundle and package my services and get and subscribe people to our like VIP service, our membership service, so that we can build more of a recurring revenue. So super important in your business, guys, right now. And so in that episode when I was talking about reactivation, I was talking a lot, we talked about marketing automation software. We talked about two-way text messaging as for doing reactivation campaigns. And I mentioned on that episode that we've actually been working on a proprietary software specifically built for med spas, guys, specifically built for you. I've essentially, what I've done is that I've taken all, not everything, but the majority of things that you need to run a business, online schedule, and doing marketing and advertising for med spas. So online scheduling, two-way text messaging, email marketing, phone recording, so recording phone calls for front desk and stuff like that. Your like marketing and analytics dashboard, your pipeline, so that you can know, so you can keep track of this, right? So you can keep track of that and know those numbers and have transparency in your business. This is the software that we've been building, right? So that whenever you close a new client, automatically a day later or that day, that client gets a text message that says, hey, please leave us a review. 3 months later, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. We have this special promotion I wanted to extend for you. Come back in. Retention campaigns, guys. Reactivation campaigns. I'm going to do another webinar, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to actually walk you through doing a reactivation campaign so you can see for yourself how easy it is and how you can use our software, which is called Patient Gem, by the way, Patient Gem. And I'm going to, Patient Gem. So you can use it to make more money, guys, like to get more people into your practice and sell them. So we've tested this for cool scoping. We tested this for other body contouring treatments. We've tested this for cosmetics, and it works, guys. I wouldn't be talking to you about it if it doesn't work. So right now, we're actually, Patient Gem is live. And so if you guys want to talk to me, well, first of all, if you have questions about this, let me know. I'm here, and Cassie is here to help you guys. Feely is here to help you guys. If you have questions about this, how we can implement this in your business, or if you just, sometimes, well, if you, my point, sorry, what I was going to say was that even if you're not ready to implement this in your business, but, helping you take steps toward this, we can talk to you guys. Like we're here to be a resource for you guys. So let us know what you think about it. If you have questions about it, let me know. But in regards to Patient Gem, right now, Patient Gem is available. If you need a software to help you do all of these things in your business, I'm going to leave a link on this video, and go check out the website that I have for it. And you can already sign up, right? It's $297 a month. It's unlimited. You can have unlimited contacts on there, and you can do as much as text messaging and email and stuff like that as you want, right? So go ahead and check that out. Patient Gem is going to help you guys literally systemize your business, help you make more money. So check it out. And again, let me know if you have any questions, because I want to keep making more videos like this. And so if you have specific questions, I'll make a specific video answering those questions. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a good Thursday. And I hope you all have a good weekend too. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Med Spa Accelerator. Talk soon.